One of the things that we kind of thought about in doing this is there was a big push towards the whole idea of prompt engineering. What is a prompt? And, how do you prompt somebody, or how do you prompt the computer, or whatever? And really what it comes down to is just an objective. What if I was to stand in front of you and maybe you were my assistant and I was an agent, and I would say, hey, Mark, or hey, Cody, I need you to do this, whatever it is. Now, with your knowledge of my business, you could probably do certain things, but there are times when you may not have the knowledge of something that I do. And whenever you're talking about objectives, you need to get the full story.
Right.
And that's really what we're talking about whenever we are doing AI stuff, is prompting the computer, prompting the AI itself with something, an objective that it can understand. It's clear. It answers the questions that it may have to actually generate something that's worth creating.
That's right. And I oftentimes say an objective is what you're hoping to accomplish. And that's exactly right. I love the idea of thinking about how are we engaging with our assistant, because oftentimes we may have that specialized knowledge that we were able to either acquire over a career of real estate, or maybe, we just like brushed up on something we learned in real estate school. They haven't quite made it that far yet, but that's fine, because you get to wear that hat as the expert and you can lead them. And so an objective allows you to lead the software as the expert. And I think that that's a really great way of thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are lots of different types of objectives, depending on what you want. Do I want to create an email? Do I want to create an SMS message? Do I want to create a routine? There's lots of things that you might do. Do I want to translate this? So we have consolidated a lot of the objectives and routines into some standardized things that's built into the software, so you don't really have to know prompt engineering. You don't have to know exactly what to do. You do have to give it some bit of knowledge. But what we do is we take the objective that you type in and we enhance it, and then we create the content based off of that enhance, because we know how to write the objectives, the prompts much better. We do that in the generations area. Whenever we're doing any kind of generating elements of different things, if we're going in and we're creating a lead magnet, and maybe we want to do a checklist, and in this case we're asking, what's your niche? What are the things that you want to do? Maybe I deal with luxury condos. And so this information that's being collected is part of what's used to actually build a solid prompt. Now, you could go in and use ChatGPT and you could type these things in, but by doing that, you're having to do it each and every time and not always saying the right thing at the right time.
And this is exactly what I built this for. This right here, the generation section, is what was the Systems Accelerator, Sam's first iteration. I was helping you coach real estate agents on how to apply AI. And the thing that I came back to every single time, I was getting sometimes tens of hundreds of emails. It felt like they didn't know what to say. And, we were a part of some really great groups on social media, and they have to spend hours each and every week teaching people what to say. And so when I built this, it was like, guys, you don't need to know what to say if you use Sam, because you want to build a lead magnet. You want it to be a checklist, and it's going to be for your specific people who are looking to buy or sell luxury condos. Perfect. We already know all that. You don't have to worry about that part. Sam's going to help you. Now we just need to know, what are we hoping to accomplish? And this is where the objective comes in. It takes out 3 of the 4 steps and allows you to just focus in.
Yeah. And we do create a very basic objective in there using AI, engage the checklist component content to convert potential leads into clients. I mean, it's that is the main objective. You use the checklist itself, the contents of it, to convert a lead. And that is an objective, but that may not be your objective.
Right.
What do you really want to do with this? And maybe you go in there and you bring it down even more, that engage with a checklist content to convert potential leads that want luxury condos in the
Springfield, Missouri area.
Springfield, Missouri area.
I think we've got a few of those now.
Yeah. Be sure to highlight the advantages of condo life. Whatever you put in your objective, and everybody's got different objectives. So that's the whole point, is identifying that. You've told it some of the things that you want, and by telling these, we can create the prompt better for you. Now, the next thing that we do is, once we do this, we use AI to say, okay, based off of that objective, what would be some good things to know even deeper about that objective? What specific condo market in the Springfield area do you want to target? You could go in and you could type in more details about that. If that's not something that you want to focus on, you can thumbs down, you can leave it. There's like 10 or 12 messages that could come up. It may have fewer, it may have more, but typically in that 10 to 12 range. What are some unique advantages, that you want to highlight? Well, you could highlight certain things about this, but you can just highlight all the advantages.
And this is where I like to say, you probably already know what you need to highlight. This is going to be the things that when you're working with people to buy that condo, they're already asking these questions. And so now you're just taking those frequently asked questions, you're building a resource for them. And so you are kind of getting a leg up, because the people are already giving you what you're looking to teach them about. We're shifting hats from having to answer questions to preemptively teaching how they're going to overcome this. And the reason these questions get answered this way, I was just hoping to give a little bit of a tip. Like you said, it's a good starting spot, but this is definitely not where you want to take it. Some unique advantages of condo living. I guarantee exactly what the Springfield area advantages are. Maybe it's that they have great amenities. Maybe it's that they're age restricted, or they're in a great part of the city. There's different things that you are going to have context on that you're already sharing with people. And now you can just infuse that into these answers. And so you get to stay the expert. You're just working alongside Sam to accomplish this.
Exactly. And again, you could do this on ChatGPT, but then all these questions, you're having to copy paste the questions, the answers and stuff, and we give it to you in one screen, be able to type it in and then just hit continue.
That's right.
So then it takes the information that you've typed in, you've isolated which questions you like, which ones you don't like, you've created stuff, and then you can create the checklist. Okay, so here it creates a checklist. It's got some basic stuff. Now, had I given it a more verbose description on each one of those, it would have given much better quality. But definitely you go in there, you type in what you want. Now, I can, on each one of these questions, then come in here and say, well, let's expand the content. Now I can go in there and say selected ones, or I can just say, do all of these. So it will go through and it will build from this a better list of items based off of each of those questions, and some more details on each one of them.
That's right. And oftentimes when I'm showing people this, the biggest thing I get is, Cody, that's a pretty generic thing. And it comes back to those questions. We didn't really answer them. We're trying to help speed up the process for you. If you spend 5 minutes going through those questions and really detailing each of those, I bet you this is where you get started. And now that that's where you get started, imagine how much further you get when you expand it. And then all you have to do is go in and review it, edit it, and ensure that it sounds like you, it's things that you would want to share, and that they're actually correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, it has gone through and created quite a bit more of the pieces. And of course, if I was to zoom in a little bit more, you'd see there's actually quite a bit of content in there. So, just making sure that the things that you want in here are in here. You can go in there and edit if you want to in here. You can copy this to a Google Docs or Word, or put it into Canva if you want. All the different possibilities are there for you to be able to take this content now that's created. Is more personalized to you. It has the things that the objective that you're trying to meet should be in there, in the content itself.
That's right. And the really cool thing about generations, oftentimes we can take these and turn them into what we call lead magnets. They're things that attract new leads to us. So if this is something that your leads are asking for, the people you're working with are asking for all the time, odds are they probably searched it out on Google before they asked you. That's just generally speaking the behavior people do before they reach out to you, because they don't want to take up your time, right? And so we can start building out a series of these, and maybe we'll get some new people who are looking specifically for condos in the Springfield area. They find this, they go, oh, wow, this is really helpful. Who wrote this? Oh, it was you, my friendly neighborhood real estate agent. I have already learned so much from you. I'm going to reach out to you and see if I can't work with you. You clearly know a lot about the condos. So let's go ahead and let's see if you can help me out actually purchasing one or selling mine. And that's the process.
Yeah, I mean, I just quickly change it from a checklist to a frequently asked questions. Same type of thing. Here are some of the questions. Are these the same questions that you wanted? You can go in there and change them up and do what you want. So the whole idea is making sure the objective is what you want the outcome to be.
That's right.